Hello, everyone. Welcome back to HTV. I'm excited to be here with you, learning about relationships again, how to have absolutely incredible, awesome interactions with other people and really become one. Okay, so today I'd like to focus on a very, very important point, one which many people struggle with. But I'd like to first start off with a story. This is a true story about a student that before he got married was studying in yeshiva. He was studying Jewish law, and every single day he'd show up on time. People used to set the clock of the study hall based on his arrival. They knew exactly every day, day in and day out. He never missed, never came late. He was really perfect and consistent in that way. That's where he excelled. He got married, and he decided that he wanted to study to become a rabbi. So he continued studying in this yeshiva. And again, day after day, morning after morning, showed up on time, to no one's surprise, because this is the way it's been already for years, even before he got married. And it continued for a number of years. And then at a certain point, he started to arrive late. First day, a few minutes late. Second day, half an hour late. Then the next week, 45 minutes late. And all of a sudden, he consistently came late an hour a day, every single day. So at one point, one of the administrators came over to him and said, I'd like to speak to you. And the student came to him and said, yes, Rabbi, what can I do for you? He said, well, I'm a little bit worried about you. For years, before you got married, even after you got married, you were consistent every single day. It was really something that we all looked up to. It was absolutely incredible. And now you're finishing your rabbinical studies. You're almost at the end of your instruction, and you're coming late every single day. It's not really appropriate. It's not appropriate. You're coming here, part of the program, and you're one of the older guys, people looking up to you, and you're just slacking off. I'm coming here to strengthen you. That you should start to come on time. So the student said, well, no, Rabbi, no, don't get upset at me. Let me explain what happened. What happened? I was waking up early, like I always woke up. And I was on my way to the yeshiva, like I was always on my way to yeshiva, on time. And I was walking down the block, and I got to the corner, and I saw this lady standing there with 3 kids waiting for the bus stop. One kid was wearing brand new shoes and stamping his shoes in the puddles on the street. The other kid, a little younger, was running into the street, and the mother holding the 3rd kid under her arms to go ahead and grab the kid from running into the street. And it was very clear that this lady was not able to function. And it was almost dangerous. These kids, the mother, no one's helping her. So I stayed there with her, and I helped her out till the kids got on the bus. And then the next day, the same thing happened. And the next day, the same thing happened. I was on time. I was ready, but this thing came in front of me on my way to school, on the way to the yeshiva, and I had to take care of this person. It was an emergency. So the administrator came and said, oh, I can't believe it. I'm so sorry. I judged you in an unfair light, but I'd like to help this woman. Maybe my wife could cook for her. She probably needs help getting her kids to sleep at night. Like, there's serious stuff. Where does she live? So the student said, Rabbi, don't worry about it. It's my wife. Meaning, what happened? He realized his wife needed help getting the kids off to school. So day after day, he started doing that. Now, why is that story so important? Because very often, you get all excited when it's some other lady or some other man that's having difficulty, that's having trouble, and we need to go ahead and help them. Go to a hospital, go to a soup kitchen, terror victims. We look for really special and sometimes exciting types of chesed, of acts of kindness that we could do, and then we're ready to do it, and we'll drop everything. Things that are important to us, our own studies, our own financial pursuits, our own family stuff, will go to help that other person, and everyone understands. My family understands that I have to go ahead and save this poor person right now, or save this person in distress, but they understand. You're the only person that can help, so you have to go help them, and everyone understands, and everyone's willing to give in a little bit, give up from what they're involved with on a day-to-day basis in order to help that person. However, when it comes to that same type of chesed, that same type of kindness in my own home, for my own spouse, for my own child, for my own brother, sister, and parent, not so exciting. This isn't so exciting. And look, she's going to be my wife even if I don't do this. He's going to be my son even if I don't do this. My parent is my parent whether I like it or not. And therefore, we're able to think in our mind that maybe we're not going to go ahead and do this. Maybe I can get by, I can continue my financial pursuit, I can continue my own studies, I can continue whatever I was doing and not have to do this act of kindness. This happens to us all the time. The most important type of kindness that we could do starts at the home. It's on the day-to-day actions that we pursue with our own family. And here's the key word: when no one is going to know about it. It's not going to be any fanfare. We're not going to be able to take a selfie at the soup kitchen. We're not going to be able to bring home the souvenirs of the aprons that they gave out at the food packing place that we're able to take home and show everyone that we did this amazing act of chesed. No one's going to know about it. It's going to be quiet. But it's really important. The chesed starts at the home. It has to be consistent. And it has to be with the same oomph, the same excitement that we would do it if it was someone else. And everyone would find out about it. You're not posting on Facebook the fact that you listened to your spouse who was having trouble after a long, hard day. You're not posting on social media the fact that you helped your kid with your homework. You're not doing that. But it's more important than all these other types of cheseds, because they need you. They need you in a way that no one else can help. So of course, we're not trying to minimize all other types of chesed, other types of kindness. We have to realize that the chesed that we do at home, when no one sees it, is more holy sometimes than the other bigger acts of chesed. Okay. So now we're ready to appreciate what chesed really is. The Torah says something very, very, very strange. It's talking about illicit relationships. Relationships that you're not allowed to have, like marrying your sister. The Torah says the reason is ki chesed hu, because it's a chesed. Huh? Marrying my sister is a chesed? What is it? It's kindness. That's ridiculous. That's not kindness. It's gross. That's crazy. Why does the Torah say that it's ki chesed hu? Because it's an act of chesed. Comes along the commentators, Rabbi Bachya, very, very, very early commentator from 1,000 years ago, and he explains as follows. We misinterpret the word chesed. Ask anyone on the street. The word chesed means kindness. He points out that is incorrect. Chesed is a much more general word, which means muflag. It means beyond, extreme, tremendous. Now, you could have things that are beyond extreme and tremendous for the good, like when you do an act of kindness. But you also could have beyond extreme for the bad, like marrying your sister. And therefore, the word chesed means extreme and beyond. When you go ahead and do a chesed, an act of kindness, it means that you're going beyond. You're going beyond what you're obligated to do. You're going beyond what you're expected to do. Sometimes you're going beyond what you even want to do. When you go beyond your comfort zone, when you go beyond those expectations, that is called chesed. If someone did you a favor and you're paying back that favor, that might not be called chesed. That might be called, in Hebrew, gemul, retribution, giving back. But chesed is when you go beyond. Now here comes a very important distinction. Let's take two people from the Torah that did a lot of chesed. We have Abraham, our forefather, who was famous for his chesed. He wanted to do Ichnasa Dorchim. He wanted to invite people into his home. He even went out and looked for people. When it was the third day of his circumcision, he wasn't feeling well. It was a boiling hot day, and there were no people passing by. He had to invite someone. He went out to go out and find people to invite. And God made it that there were three people that would come by, and he could actually do the chesed. He could do the act of kindness. And Avram is known for his chesed. And he's someone that we try to emulate, and we learn tons and tons and tons of lessons from the Torah speaking about Avram in all the different ways that he invited his guests over. That's one. Two, something that we don't really hear much about, and we don't speak about his chesed much, and that is Noach. Noach, on his teva in the ark, was helping all of the animals. Every day, he was feeding the animals, giving to them, helping them, taking care of them. When was the last time you heard stories about what's going on in the ark? Man, it's not barely mentioned in the Torah. There are hints to it. Have a day in and day out taking care of the tigers and the monkeys and the lions and the cats. What type of chesed was that? It was unbelievable what he was doing, day in and day out. Must have been tiring, must have been difficult. But we never hear about Noach, the chesed man. It's always Avram, the chesed man. What happened to Noach? Why did he get gypped? So listen to this answer. It's very, 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 very important. There was a fundamental difference between Abraham and Noach. Noach was reactive. There were animals. The animals needed to be taken care of. The animals needed food. Noach, tremendous thing that he did, he took care of them. You don't want to belittle what Noach did, but it was reactive. Abraham was the opposite. There were no guests, no people that needed a place to eat and a place to sleep. It was boiling hot. People weren't traveling that day. And Abraham said, no, I want to do chesed. I want to do kindness. I'm going to go look for that. I'm going to go search for people to be able to invite over and to give to. That is chesed. That is when you go ahead and you look for the thing. You look for the issue. You want to help. You search for it. You're not reactive. You're proactive. And that's what Avram was. And that's what chesed is. You're going beyond your obligation. You're going beyond what is expected of you. You're going beyond what people will find out about, etc. That's not the point. I'm looking to give. I just want to give. There's nothing here right now. There are no needs. Okay, I got to find the need. I got to find it. I got to go out there. What are the needs? It's not enough for me to sit in my house and wait for someone to call me up and say, hey, Rosman, can you help me out? Can you give me a lift? Can you do some shopping for me because I'm in quarantine? That's nice. That's very special. But when you go ahead and you post something and say, anyone need help shopping? I'm available to do it for you. Anyone need a ride somewhere? I'm available. So then you're being proactive. That is called chesed. That is true kindness. And the truth is that is what God is like. God did not have to create the world. God is the ultimate good. He wanted to give to someone. And that's the definition of good for a different class another time. But good, no one is good on its own without giving to other people. Giving out. Want to express the good. Anything that's good wants to share that good. And God, who's the ultimate good, wanted to share the good. So he created a world so that he could give to us. Give us amazing, beautiful things that we have. And Avram wanted to be like God. Avram said, I want to give. I need to give. I want to give. Let me find something that I can give to. And he found those three people that were passing by. So that's the difference between Avram and Noach. The difference between reactive and proactive acts of kindness. Now let's take it one step deeper. There are two different words that we find in Hebrew, which at first glance seem to be identical. One is the one we've been saying the whole time, chesed, means kindness. And the other one is rachamim, mercy. What's the difference between mercy and kindness? Mercy is I'm being merciful, right? I'm having mercy on you. I'm giving to you. I'm caring about you. And chesed is kindness, means I'm giving to you. I'm caring about you. So what's the difference between rachamim, mercy, and chesed, kindness? Explains the Malbim. He says, one of the commentators on the Chumash, on the Torah, he says as follows. He says, rachamim is reactive. When I go into a hospital, okay, let's try to picture, I'm sure we all had this experience. I go into the hospital to visit someone that's sick. And you walk in there, and you get to the floor that you're supposed to get to, and you hear the noise, the beeping, and you hear the people pushing the hospital beds, and you hear the heartbeats, and you start to feel a little uncomfortable, right? You feel like very uneasy, like going into the room. What are you going to see? What's the person going to look like? You start to feel it. The second the elevator gets to that floor, you're feeling it. In the lobby, things might have been a little better. As you get up there, you start to feel uncomfortable. And then you see the person there that's sick. And all you want to do is to be able to help them. All you want to do is to be able to give them something. Try to get them out of their misery, out of their sorrow. And very often we do that. Whether it's by being nice to them, by speaking to them, by speaking to the doctors for them, by bringing them a present. Unbelievable, right? After you visit them, and you give them, and you help them, and they appreciated your visit, you feel much better. Okay? You still feel bad that the person's sick, but you feel much better at the end of the day. What is that reflective of? So the Chovas HaLevavos, one of the early commentators, again from 1,000 years ago, he says as follows. He says, sometimes that's not true chesed. That's reactive because you feel not so good. And to get rid of your own personal ill feeling, that you feel uncomfortable, you have to do something to get out of it, to get rid of it. I feel uncomfortable that he's sick. I feel uncomfortable in the situation. So what can I do in order to help him so that I don't feel uncomfortable? On some level, it's selfish. What looks like selfless act to the other person is really just feeding my own personal ill feelings. And that is very different than when I'm proactive and I look for the issue and then I go ahead and give. I'm not feeling anything. I'm feeling great right now. I'm sitting at home, the air conditioning's on. It's a nice day today. Get a lot done. But I want to do good. I want to help someone. So I'm going to go look for someone that I can help. That is that is what chesed is. That's the greatness of chesed, that I'm proactive and I look for the problem. It's not that I'm feeling uncomfortable right now and I need to get out of my uncomfortable state and I want to give to someone. So when we try to do kindness, we have to always be checking. First of all, are we doing the kindness in our home? Are we doing the kindness because other people are going to find out about it? Are we doing the kindness because it's fun and exciting? Or no, I'm doing it because I want to give to someone. And the person that needs my giving is my spouse or my children or my relatives, people that might be day to day within my home, around me. That is a very clear metric of why I'm doing my chesed, even when I do it outside. Am I doing it for the fanfare? Am I doing it for the fun? Or am I doing it because it's the right thing to do? That's one. Two is, am I proactive? Do I go ahead and look for chesed to be done? Or do I just sit back and relax and wait for someone to ask me for something? Or that I'm in some situation where I'm a little uncomfortable and now I got to go ahead and take care of my ill feelings. That also is a clear barometer of whether I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. I want to be like God. I just want to give. Or are there alternative reasons that's motivating me to go ahead and do these kindness forms of action? Let me take one last practical example that I think will be a nice takeaway for today. Let's give the example of doing the dishes in my home. Okay? I once had a student that was really a lazy bum. Sorry. And after he got married, he told me that he does the dishes all the time. He heard my class about doing the dishes, and he does dishes all the time for his wife. I'm like, no way. There is no way that he's doing the dishes. And he said, no, sure, I do the dishes every day. I said, really? What? I can't believe it. He said, sure, I bought my wife a dishwasher. And it's as if I'm doing the dishes every single day. I knew he wouldn't be doing it. Okay. So how does this manifest itself in doing the dishes? Okay, there are 3 different ways of doing the dishes. Way number 1 is that my wife asks me to do the dishes, and I say, fine, I'll do it. And you actually go ahead and do it. Now, that's not going to be appreciated much because it's clear that you have no interest in helping, you don't want to do it, and she'll probably never ask you again to do the dishes. Way number 2, which is much better, is sure, I'd love to do the dishes for you or with you. That's much better. It shows that you're excited to help, that you want to help. But there's a 3rd way. And this 3rd way is greater than any of the first 2. And that is that you initiate to do the dishes. Your wife's not home from work yet. You know she had a busy day somewhere. She was out. You see the dishes in the sink, and you go ahead and you say, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And you do it. And she comes home and it's done. She's like, well, what happened? You say, you know, I realized you had a hard day. The last thing you wanted to do when you got home was do the dishes. I just did them for you. Whoa, that is huge. Why? Because it shows that you were thinking about your spouse. You were thinking, what could I do for them? How could I help them? What are their needs? How can I fulfill those needs? And you went ahead and did it. When you initiate, when you're proactive, that is the ultimate way of doing chesed. That's like being Avraham, and it's like being like God. So let's try to find some chesed to do. Let's look for it. Let's do it with a tremendous smile, even if no one's going to know about it. No one's ever going to pat me on the back for it, but we'll do it because it's the right thing to do, and we'll see that our relationships are going to grow through the roof. It's going to be amazing. And it's just people are going to appreciate being in a relationship with us on a whole new level. Okay, till next time, guys. It's great to see you. Love learning with you. All the best.